Hello, HAWKTV. Welcome to the first ever HAWKTV trivia night. I am Billy O'Neill. I'm the station manager at HAWKTV, and this is a little pet project of mine. I've been cooking up ever since things got sent online, so we could have something to do as an organization together, a little fun thing to do within the campus community. I'm joined here today with two wonderful guests. You know him, you love him. Steve Pompei, he's my production director. Steve is also the executive producer of America's Hottest Debates Live and an associate on Backseat. Steve, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing, Billy?
Oh, I couldn't be better. I'm definitely not shaking right now. I'm so excited to be doing this show tonight. So excited to be doing something new and fun and something that everyone can play along with at home. I think it's going to be a great way to get people excited about doing stuff. And then my next guest needs no introduction. I stole that from someone. You might know who that is. Trivia might come up about him. Who knows? I'm here with Professor Adam Black of the History Department. Professor Black has been my teacher for multiple semesters at Monmouth. He taught me in Verdict in History and War in History. Steve and I actually shared a class of War in History together last year before shutdown, and we were sent home. But Professor Black is a wonderful professor. He's specialized in all sorts of different things, including what may come up later in Norse mythology. He is a wonderful man, a wonderful person, and he's agreed to come here and share some time with us and talk to the campus community about some of his little interests as we do this trivia night. Professor Black, how you doing?
That's excellent, Billy. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Wow, I don't think I've ever gotten that nice of an introduction ever. So appreciate that.
I've been practicing.
I'm excited to be here.
Practicing all day in the mirror. Had to get it right. But so let me just explain to everyone in the chat how the trivia works. So the trivia we're doing is pub style. If you're not familiar with what pub style trivia is, it's that we will read 5 questions in a category. We'll give you guys time to answer those, and then you will answer the questions, and we'll show you the answers afterwards. Then we'll move on to the next category. There's 3 different categories, 15 questions total, and we're going to move through those slowly. We'll talk over it, have a little fun, interview, make some jokes, make some little wisecracks, if you will, some quips, and then we'll walk through and we will run our show that way. So yeah, feel free to play along in chat. Just save your answers for when we're going through the answers at the end of the round, because I don't want Professor Black or Steve here to cheat, get a little bit of an advantage on one another. Not that they would, but
please help me cheat.
Please.
If you help me cheat,
Steve, you have an advantage because I guarantee you some of the people watching know you personally and would totally help you cheat. But
or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they'll give me the wrong answer.
Steve was a wonderful student.
Thank you.
Steve was a wonderful student in War and History. Never cheat, ever.
It's a shame Professor Black is going to have to take his former student to the house tonight. We got some great trivia, so
Honestly, I wouldn't want anyone else to do it.
That's fair. That's fair. You know what? Yeah. Hope if you guys like this, comment in the chat, leave a chat below, and we're more than willing to do this more frequently. We'll try and do it with some alumni and some other people from the campus community to get you guys kind of more unified and around each other. So yeah, leave a comment down below and ask us who from the alumni or people you know personally on campus that you'd like to see come on and do this, and we'll reach out to them and see if we can get that working. But for now, this is our show for tonight. A little bit themed, but let's get right into it. I'm going to cut directly to our trivia. We got this up here, and I'm going to go to the next question. Can everyone see that? We got the first round up there. Round 1 is horror movies. Okay, so let's start. We got number 1. This classic horror movie monster's physical shape was based loosely on the Academy Award statue. I'll give you guys some time to answer that. This one, it did catch me by surprise just a little bit. It's a little bit out there. I did not expect this. Mostly because I imagine that most horror movie monsters come from books and like way before, so I didn't understand it would be based on the Academy Award statue, I guess. Oh, Sean, I love that. I think we should get Gonzo on.
Yes. I'm in trouble, fellas. I know nothing about horror movies. But
that's okay. I'm deathly afraid of horror movies.
The Academy Award statue?
That's right, the Oscar. It feels like a bit of a stretch to base anything on that because it feels like a pretty basic human form. But
Yeah, really. What?
no, it's very specifically based on that statue. But yeah, back to what Sean was saying in the chat. I think we should get Nate on. I think Nate is a. If Nate will come back and do it, I feel like Nate would have a lot to add to.
I think Nate would smoke everyone.
Nate would smoke everyone. Nate like knows all that niche trivia that no one else would get for no reason. Like he'll pull out some deep cuts. But let's go on to the next question. I think I gave you guys plenty of time. Number 2. This film made waves by becoming the first ever American film to show a toilet on screen. Now it is in the horror film category, so it is a horror film. I will give you that one hint.
Boy, how brave! They showed a toilet on the screen.
You wouldn't believe.
That's very controversial.
It really is. It's.
I would never. Can't believe they do such a thing.
Steve, there's such a
Was
nice.
that considered? Was that considered like X-rated back then? Like if they showed a toilet on screen?
I mean, honestly, when I was looking at the year from the movie, I was like, is this really that bad back then? But I guess when you factor in for certain things, like Hays codes, then maybe? I don't know. It didn't seem like that bad of a thing, but who knows? Horror
No,
movies.
Sean, The Last Jedi is a toilet. That's the difference. That whole movie is a toilet.
I like The Last Jedi. I'll go on record right now saying it, and I'll take
It's
that
alright.
secret to my
It's
grave.
Skywalker was worse.
It is worse. But before we start,
Is Last Jedi the 3rd movie or the 6th movie?
it is the Last Jedi is one of the new movies, so it's the 8th movie if you want to get real fancy with it.
Oh, all right. I haven't. All right, fair enough.
The second new one.
It's all right. If you don't watch you only need the originals.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to 3. This real-life serial killer inspired films Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, and Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
Oh man. All right.
Wait,
I came out playing hardball today.
no, wait. This one's. I feel like I've heard this one.
So wait,
400 times,
whoa.
but I'm blanking.
You know this one, but you'd okay, fair enough. You know what? Actually, I actually came out pretty hard with the horror movie questions. Maybe I was being a little mean here.
The first one was.
Sean's calling for
This
me
is
to.
bad. This is gonna be rough.
Sean's calling for me to be canceled because of my opinions on Star Wars. I think that's fair. I do have a pretty bad opinion in the general retrospect, but maybe it's just because I like to be
That's
contrarian. The thing about Star Wars, well, you know what, Sean? How about this? One day I'll do Star Wars trivia, and if you could answer enough questions right, then you can tell me that my opinion's wrong. That sound good? I'll wait for Sean to reply. I know he's deathly afraid to be challenged like this about Star Wars. Sean actually does a radio show about Star Wars on Tuesday nights, 8 to 10. It's unnamed right now, but it's a really great show. He's kind of just breaking down the movies one by one, and he plays all Star Wars music on the radio while he's doing that. So shout out to Sean's radio show if you're listening to WMCX 8 to 10 Tuesday nights. Sean, we'll do Star Wars. All right, number 4. What was the first horror film to be nominated for an Academy Award? It wasn't only nominated for 1. It was nominated for 10.
Oh.
Drew 10 nominations.
Has to be.
Oh.
Okay, when you say horror,
Oh,
how broad are we talking?
Okay, so
Like-
what do you mean broad? So I feel like you got a
like
good
the
range
last
from the last
question's-
question.
Yeah, the last question said Silence of the Lambs, which I guess it's horror. It's not like, I mean, I don't know, horror is weird.
So I'd say Silence of the Lambs is probably more of a thriller drama, but I put it
We'll
in
count
there
that.
because it helps
Okay.
you get the other 2.
Yeah.
If you didn't get,
Yeah.
if it wasn't the first 2 that gave it away, then at least you have the benefit of that.
I got you.
All right.
So it's pretty broad.
What'd you write down here,
Which
Steve?
is fair.
What was your answer for this one?
Oh. I could say that.
I could never.
It was
Oh, Steve, your audio just cut out. It just went full dead on there. Oh, or you were just pulling back on the answer. Ooh, I don't know. But it's a heated competition here right now. There's no love lost between these two rivals of the ring. I'm loving it. Having a great time moderating this right now. All right, so we'll move right to number 5. What is the most commercially successful horror franchise of all time? So not the individual movie, but the entire franchise. Ooh, that's a lot of confidence from Professor Black right there.
I think
I feel this one.
I think I got this one.
I don't think I've seen any of these movies, but I think I got this one.
Now, so this specified this as horror, but I don't know if I would qualify it in the same way. But I do want to see what you guys put for it anyway. And if you both guessed in the same realm of existence and you weren't thinking the way that this question was thinking, then it doesn't matter. You both don't get a point. So we're going to move into our answers now. So the way answers are going to work, I set it up so that it shows the question and then it shows the answer. But in the event that slide transitions don't work, I'm going to read off the question before I cut to the slide anyway, just so you guys can tell me what your answers are. So the first question was, this horror movie monster's physical shape was based loosely on the Academy Award statue. So Professor Black, we'll start with you. What did you put?
I have The Mummy.
Okay, The Mummy. That's a good guess. I like The Mummy.
Oh man. Oh, I don't like that. All right.
That's okay. I'm going to be so much meaner to Steve. Steve, what is your guess for this classic horror movie monster?
I put The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man. Oof. Rough one, buddy. Rough
We're
one.
up the same. You know what? It's the same alley.
There we go.
Oh yeah. What?
Number 1, the creature from the Black Lagoon.
You know what? That makes sense.
So,
I feel like I've definitely heard that before.
Movie came out in 1921, so it was around the beginning of all of this. Or actually, never mind. I got that date wrong. It came out much later. I believe 1931. So it lines up in time with the Academy Awards actually beginning. So it makes sense, I guess, if you think of it like that. Whereas it's kind of the same physical feature. So the next question. This film made waves by becoming the first ever film in America to show a toilet on screen. Steve, we'll start with you this time.
Psycho.
Okay, good guess. Professor Black?
Oh.
I also had Psycho on this one.
Okay, excellent. You guys both get a point for that one. So if you got that right by any chance, if any of you got that right, just write a little 1 on your screen, on your page. We'll do tallies and we'll see who wins at the end. Feel free to participate in chat if you're also getting these questions right. But for now, we got 1 and 1. It's neck and neck. So this real-life serial killer inspired the films Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, and Psycho. Professor Black?
Oh man, I was running. The problem was all of these movies are from different eras, right? So I'm thinking like John Wayne Gacy. I'm thinking like Son of Sam, but then I'm thinking like maybe it has to be way older. So I went super old. I went Jack the Ripper. Total guess.
Okay. He's going bold. He's going straight to Jack the Ripper. He's a classic serial killer, and everybody knows him.
He's the OG serial killer.
I really just want to be. Oh, Sean's 0 of 2 right now. Oh, Sean, you got to step up. I know you could do better than that. But Steve, what is your answer for that?
I put John Wayne Gacy actually, but then you said how old it is, so I questioned myself, but I'm sticking with it.
All right, we have Jack the Ripper. We have John Wayne Gacy. The answer that I found for this was Ed Gein.
Ooh.
Right.
You know what? I know
That's a real-
because they based the Texas Chain Club. I know they based it off someone, but I know it was somebody I didn't know. 'Cause I think he actually did the skin thing, which is like gross.
Yeah, that's kind of. No, Sean, I don't like horror movies either. Horror movies are kind of gross. I can't watch horror movies at all. I have a great story. The Witch. Have you seen The Witch, Professor Black? It's a horror movie about.
I haven't.
It's a colonial folktale horror movie. It's about like this family that sees a witch in the woods, and it's actually really good. It's a really good movie,
yeah.
But there's like a scene at the beginning of it that's not supposed to be scary. And Steve and I watched this together. But there's a scene where she's playing peekaboo with the baby, but it hard cuts to her going boo. And I jumped out of my chair and I walked out of the room and I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. And I can't do it. I just can't do horror movies. So we're going to move on to this next one before I get even more embarrassed. So what was the first horror film to be nominated for an Academy Award? We'll start with you, Steve.
I put Silence of the Lambs.
Good guess. Good guess. Silence of the Lambs.
that's a-
Anthony
has
Hopkins,
to be it.
100%.
That has to be it.
And then we'll go to Professor Black. Professor
I
Black,
had
what do
The
you have?
Exorcist here. I haven't seen either of those movies, but I feel like The Exorcist was like the OG of recent horror movies. So
Well, it seems
say
that
it's
Professor
actually
Black
scary,
has
so.
secured the question as correct. It was The Exorcist. The Exorcist secured 10 nominations. Silence of the Lambs, I believe, secured for actor and actress, but I'm not sure it, and maybe Best Picture. But
Yeah, it won both.
that sounds about right. They're both incredible in that movie. But yeah, Exorcist blew it out of the water, and it was one of the most impactful films ever when it came out. Sean, you're 0 of 4 right now. Sean, if your stat line was an NBA Finals stat line, the Heat wouldn't be where they are right now. You got to step it up, buddy. All right, so we have one more question left before we move on to the next category. We have number 5. What is the most commercially successful horror franchise of all time? Now, I did say that this one might be a little weird.
Yeah, that's where you confuse me a bit.
So, I just wanted to second guess you guys.
That's fine.
Professor Black, what do you have for the most successful horror franchise of all time?
all right, so this is like every movie in the franchise combined, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I put Saw because there's like 30 of them.
that's a
I
good
figure
guess.
Like combined, they have to be, right?
No, because Saw has an insane amount of movies. Like when I used to see like the Saw stuff, it was like I thought there were 3 at most, and not that they're any good. I can't watch them anyway because they're too like gory and gross. But I thought that there were 3 movies, but then I found the 5th somewhere. Like they just appear out of nowhere. So
Well, they
Saw
just
is a
keep making
great
them.
guess.
And
then they're doing a new one with Chris
Jigsaw.
Rock. Right.
Yeah.
That actually does look. I'm excited to see what Chris Rock does with that. But move on to.
They're making another one?
Did it already come out? Well, then I guess I wasn't that excited.
They made one called Jigsaw.
Right, but I thought it got delayed and it hasn't come out yet.
No, I think that came out.
What are you
They
gonna
might be
do?
making another one for all I know.
They could be.
It's like
I
the
don't think
Fast and
Chris Rock's in it.
Furious.
Fast and the Furiouses are great, though. Anyway.
Oh.
No, they're not. Steve, what do you have for what is the most commercially successful horror franchise of all time?
Funny enough, I also put Saw because
Also put Saw.
I know the first Saw cost no money to make because that was the whole point of the movie was these 2 guys, I forget their names, but they're like, we want to make a movie, but we have no money, so it's going to be set in one room for most of it.
Wait,
then they just-
wait, time out here. Time out. So these 2 guys, they wanted to make a movie, and
I
they
think-
just were looking
yeah.
around like, wow, we
I
have a
might-
Saw.
That might be
It's like we do with
that might not be
right?
exactly how it is, but the first Saw is actually good. It's actually a good movie. And then I don't know what happens to the rest of them. I haven't seen them. I've seen the first one. The rest of them are just gross. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it's
just
kinda like-
unpleasant to watch.
It's kind of like trying to up itself in like the worst way possible all the time. But
Yeah.
you know what? Both great guesses. Saw is one of the most well-known and widely produced franchises ever, but there is a horror franchise, technically horror franchise, that has more movies than Saw, and it is Godzilla.
No.
Godzilla.
Oh.
Godzilla
That
is technically
doesn't
horror.
count.
Yes, it
Oh.
is. It
I
does count.
guess. I guess so.
Godzilla.
All right.
Bro,
Fair
okay.
enough. I'll give it a yes.
So I will take the
Alright.
I will say that Godzilla doesn't count and give you both a point if you would say this. Would you also not be afraid if a giant dinosaur was just walking through Mammoth?
Wait, so I get a point if I say I'm not afraid?
No.
Or I
You get a point
I
if
say
you're
I'm
honest.
afraid?
I'd be
Oh,
totally
I'd
afraid.
definitely be afraid.
Okay, word. Yeah, you guys both get a point. So it's 3 and 2.
+1 for me.
See, that was a little trick there. No matter what I did, it doesn't change anything. Now, we're going to go to round 2. This trivia, a little special just for Adam Black. I called it Vikings. This trivia will have questions related to all sorts of Vikings and Norse mythology. But before we do that,
Okay.
I am going to just turn the light on in my room so that I can get this lighting just a little bit better for me. So I'm going to cut to
It
this
sets the
real
mood
quick.
for the horror movies.
And then you guys feel free to have a little conversation while I take care of this.
So
How have you
we're
been,
gonna talk-
Steven? It's good to
I'm
see
good. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
We're gonna talk about Vikings. Yesterday was Leif Erikson's day, right?
you. Yeah, Leif Erikson Day.
There you go. The original Christopher Columbus.
Oh no,
Yeah,
we're already spoiling my questions here.
Okay, I won't go into that.
No, that's a good thing. I was ready for you, Professor Black. We're on the same wavelength. I'm gonna transition back into the show. We have round 2 Vikings, and then our first question: how many years before Christopher Columbus is it thought that Leif Erikson became the first European in America? Now, I said is it thought to make sure that I had an out in case my answer was wrong.
Oh god.
Because I am currently moderating for Monmouth's resident Norse mythology and Viking expert. So I wouldn't dare to step on the toes of such a titan. I also made sure to spell leaf correctly. I was spelling it IE for a very long time.
I know, that's all right.
Oh, Sean, that is a cultured question. I think that Leif Erikson should be given more credit. And the fact that Leif Erikson Day isn't a national holiday, but Chris Columbus Day is kind of I think we should get that checked out. I'm just going to say
it's maddening.
It is maddening. So, you know what? Yeah, Leif Erikson Day was yesterday, Sean. It actually was yesterday. Yeah. So happy Leif Erikson Day, everyone. I'm not going to do the noise, but you know what's up. 2. All right. Vikings were supposedly huge fans of this sport, even praying to a god associated with it. We should have off school, Sean. No mail. Let's just shut down for Leif Erikson Day. I'm kind of sick of the disrespect that's being put on my boy Leif's name.
Just a fun fact while we're in between questions, Leif Erikson actually had a brother named Thorvald, and it was Leif and Thorvald who first came to America, and Thorvald gets none of the credit. It's all Leif Erikson.
I mean, Leif just has such a catchy name, though.
Oh, it does. It 100%.
That's like if me and my brother Bartholomew, like this, like one of us is gonna get said, because Billy's a lot easier to say than Bartholomew. All right.
So is pillaging a sport? Are we considering that a sport?
Technically, I will not count pillaging as a sport, Steve. And honestly, I think you need to be a little bit.
Steve, I usually do, but it's all right.
It's one of the best sports.
I'm just a grouchy moderator. Sean, to answer your question, Professor Black, correct me on this, but there is no Thorvald Day. However, Thorvald Day would be the same day as Leif Erikson Day. It would just be called Leif and Thorvald Day.
Leaf or Leafball Day.
Leafball.
Smush the words together.
Leafball.
Either way, yeah.
All right, petition for Leafball Day. You can count hunting as a sport, Sean. Hunting does count as a sport, right? Yeah, sure.
I mean, anything's a sport if you broaden the topic enough.
Oh, it is. So, Thor is famous for many reasons, including his hammer, Mjolnir. What is the name of Odin's famous spear?
Oh.
You can just see how happy Professor Black is to get all these points ahead on you, Steve. You have to clutch up on the last round because I could just see that you're about to go down 5-0.
This is painful.
You know what it is, guys? I'm teaching US 1 and verdicts again this semester. I love both classes, but I miss teaching Western Civ 1 so bad because that's when I can really get into Norse mythology. One of those situations where I'll put it as one day on the syllabus, but we'll end up covering it for 3 weeks because I love it so much. So I'm in my element now, and I'm so happy to be back.
Oh, I would take a Norse mythology class.
No, if you did that,
I would do that.
I would totally take a Norse mythology class, especially if you're teaching it.
That's good.
That's the sell.
I'm pitching a mythology class. I'm going to be pitching a mythology class to hopefully the department next semester. It's in the works, so
write that down, chat.
That'd be really cool.
Write that down, chat. Norse mythology class coming up soon. Right in time for the Percy Jackson live action series. Yeah, Monmouth History Department. You got the link to this.
Monmouth History Department.
You should be here. You could hear this. Let's get that going. All right. Let's move on to number 4. This Viking warrior has been the subject of many folktales and was the main protagonist of the first 4 seasons of the Vikings TV show. I will take the name. The name is the same in real life and in the show. There is like a slight difference in how they choose to go about the last name, so I'll take either one. I'll be nice, Steve.
Whatever. I don't think it's gonna matter.
Do you not know this one, Steve?
No.
Ah,
I haven't seen Vikings.
that's fair. You should watch it. It's actually I haven't seen all of it. But it is actually a really well-made TV show.
Yeah, I will say it's the first couple seasons were phenomenal. The director kind of got a little bit of like Game of Thrones disease where he was trying too hard the last couple of seasons. Like it's really been dipping, but I still think it's worth watching. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
GOT syndrome.
there you go. I think it's on Hulu, but yeah,
I'll have to
for
watch it.
reference sake for anyone who's looking to watch that. Just
See,
a quick
I
little.
do like Vikings, but I don't know anything about them.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that'll
do.
that'll
I
do
kinda
it.
do from God of War. That's about it.
That's a good reference point to start with. Sean says King of the North in the chat. He also says, just a little shout out for you, Professor Beck. He would have taken that mythology class over any of the history classes he took. So I think you got a good sell for that right there. If Sean says so, it's got to be right. We got this last question. Here it is. My dark horse question. Vikings come in many different forms and iterations.
Finally.
What was the name of the famous Minnesota Vikings defensive line in the late 1960s to 70s? Sean, I am looking out for you in chat. We are finally getting a question that I know you have to get right.
I can get one question right, and it's gonna be this one.
There-
Out of all these Vikings.
That's all you need to get a comeback, though, Steve. So, all right, if you boys are ready, I think we go straight into it, start looking at those answers. But I think I'm hoping that this is the question that throws you guys off, but you seem a little bit too confident in this one. I think that you guys might have this question in the bag, both of you. So we're going to go straight to our answers. So, first question, how many years before Christopher Columbus is it thought that Leif Erikson became the first European in America? So, we'll start with you, Professor Black.
Approximately 500 to 550 years.
Okay, that's a good answer. He's got a nice little 50-year range, but is that the Price is Right number you want to go for? Sean, what? Not Sean, excuse me. Steve, what are you thinking? What do you think the answer is?
Professor Black sounded a little unsure.
I think he did too, so you should probably
He
go for
sounded
like
a
something
little
completely
unsure, so
opposite.
I said 300.
Ooh, also a good answer, but
Yeah.
you know what? Steve was so confident he didn't even give a range. He just put it straight on the money with 300. So you know what, Steve? I have to do this. It was about 500 years prior. So point to Professor Black.
I was gonna put 500.
But you know what? I will give you half a point for the confidence.
Oh, thanks.
You can take half a point back for the confidence.
I was hedging my bets there. That's fair. That's fair.
I'll give you half a point. Okay, so long as you think it's fair, then we'll go with it. I think that's good to go. All right. Yeah, let's move on to that next question. Vikings were supposedly huge fans of this sport, even praying to a god associated with it. Steve, you want to start us off? And real quick,
I don't know.
oh, never mind. You go. I was gonna give bonus points, but I don't want to give Professor Black too much of an advantage here.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know what sports existed back then technically. So I put sailing.
Okay, that's actually a good bet. They
You know
sailed a
what?
lot.
They like sailing. I
No,
don't
but
think it's right.
nah, Vikings love sailing. That's probably a good bet. I might actually be the answer. I can't tell you though, so I have to pretend like I don't know. Professor Black,
That's fair.
what are you thinking? What do you think the answer is?
I believe the god was Ullr, and the sport is skiing.
There you go. We go to the next question. It is skiing, and the god is Ullr. Now, I was going to award bonus points for being able to name the god, and then I realized I would just be burying Steve if I did that.
You know what? No, don't take pity. Just
No, it's not pity. It is straight out of purely for competition's sake. So, the next question. What is the name of Odin's famous spear?
Oh, you're gonna love this one.
Steve, just because you specified that I would love this so much, I need to know what you said first.
I had absolutely no idea, and I didn't even have a range, so I put Spearnir.
Spearnir?
It sounds the same.
Spearnir. I think Spearnir, you know what? Spearnir might be it. I'm not going to tell you. I think he's got the right. You know what?
Oh yeah.
I could, you know what? I can tell you that you definitely have part of it right. It does. It is a spear.
It's a spear part.
Professor Black, care to take it away?
That's Gungnir.
And that is the answer. You had the near part.
What was it?
It's Gungnir. I can't pronounce that properly.
Oh, I was so close.
You were so
Spear
close.
Near, though. I'm writing Spear Near down. That's
Spear
going to
Near.
make it into a PowerPoint.
You know what? I will. Steve is famous in the PowerPoint. That's what I like to hear. We're making a difference in the world, one spear at a time, one spear near. All right, Steve. Just because that made me laugh so hard, I will give you another half a point for that.
Thank
I think you're just feeding the content at this point.
I'll take it.
I love it. So, next question. This Viking warrior has been the subject of many folktales and was a main protagonist of the first 4 seasons of Vikings TV show. Steve, you want to actually Professor Black, you want to start?
I have down Ragnar Lothbrok.
All right. It's a good guess. It might not be right. It's kind of sounded a little wrong there, but we'll lean away from it. Steve, what did you put?
Give or take 50
This is kind of
years.
funny. So I didn't have any idea, but I did put Ragnar. But I put Ragnar the Red. If you know it, you know it.
I don't know it actually.
It's obscure reference.
I don't know why, but in my head I'm thinking Always Sunny, but that's probably just because I was watching it earlier.
Obscure Skyrim reference.
Oh, you know what? I do get it. Never mind. I
There
do
you
get
go.
it. I do get it.
So
You know what?
I think when in doubt, I think all the Vikings are named Ragnar.
It's a safe bet.
It is a safe bet.
I think that was a pretty common name.
So we had Ragnar Lothbrok. I don't know how to attribute the point because Steve did technically get Ragnar, but I'm gonna not give you a point because I gave you half points on 2 other things. So
I got it wrong.
So I will give the point only to Professor Black on this one, and then we have one more. There you go. Oh, Sean got one. Let's go. That's for the chat right there. He kinda got one. So we're gonna give him credit just because we love Sean. He's a good friend of the show. But yeah, you can take half a point if you want. I think you can get the full point.
Sean, you can get as many points as you want.
You know what? Yeah. At the end of this, we're just gonna give it to Sean anyway. What was the name of the famous Minnesota Vikings defensive line from the late 1960s to 1970s? So, Professor Black, you want to start with that one?
I believe they were called the Purple People Eaters.
That's a good guess. It almost reminds me of McDonald's, and I don't remember the name of that McDonald's character, but he does always make me think of it when I hear the Grimace. Yes, Grimace always makes me think Purple People Eater.
Grimace.
Why do you know McDonald's deep cuts?
You put McDonald's trivia. That should have been my niche category.
That's fair.
McDonald's characters.
I
don't
mean,
know why I know that.
Come on, who wouldn't?
I
It's
studied
Grimace.
the wrong topics. You see, you told me I had to come on for this. I studied McDonald's trivia. You didn't tell me it was going to be Vikings trivia. So I
I'm
studied
sorry.
the complete
You're right.
wrong.
I should have went with McDonald's trivia. Next time I have you on, I promise it'll be McDonald's trivia. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's okay for Steve to hate like that. But Steve, your answer for that last question.
I also put the Purple People Eaters.
There we go. We have points for both of you gentlemen. Purple People Eaters is the name of the Minnesota Vikings defensive line from the 60s to 70s. Very legendary front, and I figured it's a Jeopardy question. You guys can't get that wrong.
They still couldn't win. They had 0 Super Bowls.
That's right. Just the way I like it. Go Pack Go. Every day, forever for the rest of the time.
I forgot you're a cheesehead, Billy.
That's right. Always and forever. So, real...
See that embarrassing flag back there?
Yeah, that Giants flag. Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
That's all right.
So, real quick, everybody, let's just get a quick tally of your guys' scores. Professor Black, how many points do you have right now?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8. If you give me that 1 point for admitting that I'd be afraid of Godzilla.
There we go. You got 8 if you count Godzilla Fear. Steve, how many points do you have?
Well, let me see. 1, 2. Wait.
Happy.
I forgot. I didn't tally.
Well, while you're tallying right now, Sean does actually have. Sean does have 2 points right now, so he might actually be rivaling you, and he might just replace you mid-show. So
I say I got 1, 2.
Yo,
didn't get those.
we have Ben
got
DeVito
half
in
one.
the chat here. Ben says Happy Leif Erikson Day to you guys. Happy Leif Erikson Day, Ben.
I think I have 3.5, Billy.
You too, Ben.
3.5. We'll go with you know what, Steve. You've been such a good sport. I'm gonna just bump you up to 4. That's how much we love it here. We're just a good group of friends hanging out. That's how we gotta do it. So Ben says Heat in 7. Ben, I'm inclined to agree with you. Heat in 7. Sorry, LeBron. We still love you. I still love you, but Jimmy Butler's better. So
He doesn't need to win. No.
let's go straight into round 3. We have a final round here. 5 more questions. If Professor Black chokes on this round, Steve, you can still have a comeback victory if you get all 5 right. Now,
it's possible.
Now, Steve,
Wait, is this Halloween?
No, this is Halloween. It's all about Halloween stuff, different Halloween facts and trivia. Now, just to specify, Steve, if you win this, it'll have a lot of implications for Ben because it shows that underdogs can come back from a large deficit. That's exactly what the Heat need to do this weekend if they want to keep alive in this playoff series. And if you don't do it, Ben's going to personally be upset with you over the fact that you cost the Heat the NBA Finals. Here it is. We have King Black versus Steve Buckets. Can we finish off strong in these last questions? I don't know if we can. I am almost too giggly right now to continue working. You're welcome, Ben. I knew I had to work it in there somehow. So
Ben, I will probably disappoint you. I'm going to be honest.
So, first question. These 2 countries are accredited with having popularized Halloween costumes for trick-or-treating.
Wait, can you elaborate on this question?
So,
Oh, okay. Wait, I think I get it. Never mind.
so they're kind of the forefront of making Halloween costumes
Yeah.
popular when you go out and go to people's houses and ring their
I
doorbell.
don't know why
and say,
I
"Give me
read
candy."
that wrong. I read that as they sell the most popular Halloween costumes, and I was like,
Sean in the chat just doing the math that I was doing earlier. Professor Black is LeBron James and Steve Pompei is Jimmy Butler. I'm inclined to agree with you on that one, Sean. It's just a real battle of the titans here. But so this since it's 2 countries, if you can get one of them, we'll award you 1 point. If you get both of them, you get 2 points. There's one other question like this where it's 3 different things. If you get all 3, you get 3 points. But we'll do that for these questions. They're both in this category. So if you guys have that one filled out, we'll go to the next one. Where was the first citywide celebration of Halloween in the United States? Encompassing the whole city. Jimmy G. Buckets. Yes, Ben. Ben, unfortunately, Ben, I'd love to talk about the Heat with... Sean says Professor Black in 7, everybody. I also am inclined to agree. I can't take sides, but I don't know. It's looking bad for the Pompeis.
Professor Black in 4.
Professor Black in 4. I don't know.
4.
All right, we'll move to the next questions. Before pumpkins, what food was originally used to make jack-o'-lanterns?
man.
Now, this is
one of those trivia questions you've heard 400 times, but I forget
Right?
the name of it.
there are 3 different answers for this. So
Yeah,
this
that's
is the
like
one
interesting.
that will get you 3 points if you get all 3.
Wait, there's 3 for this one?
There's 3 for this one. Yeah.
Oh.
So there are 3 different options. Some of them are locational
Write a
based.
few things down.
Oh, I didn't know there was 3. But I have to get at least 1 right?
That's what the trivia told me. So if it's wrong, I'll send you the link to the website and you can blame them. But it's not my fault. They told me this was the answer. And it said it was differentiating based on region. So that I don't know if that helps. Nick Simone says Geth smells. I have to agree with you. Sean does smell pretty bad. Hope you're doing good, Nick. Hope you're enjoying the trivia. It's good to see you. Nick is a good friend of Sean's. He's a wonderful gentleman. It's nice to have him here in the chat. Sean says not as bad as you. As much as I'd love to see you guys argue about who smells worse, let's save that for the HAWKTV pay-per-views that are going to start airing next semester when we do Rumble in the Jungle. So we'll move to the next question. What were the first ever fun-sized candy bars? I'll repeat that again because I started reading before I clicked on the slide. What were the first ever fun-sized candy bars?
Okay.
Fun-sized, just for reference sake, if you're not familiar, because I did have to Google this to specify with myself if they were the bigger ones or the smaller ones. Fun-sized are the smaller ones. So think about companies that take joy away from children, not give it to them. Actually, this quick story. One of the most disappointing things about the lockdown hasn't been like I love working online. I think this actually looks really good, and I'm really excited about doing the show this way. But right before everything happened, I bought a whole thing of candy for HAWKTV just for people to take, and now no one can come in. But I will find a way to get rid of that candy and take care of it for everybody. I don't know if it's gonna be me giving it to my family, but I do want everyone to get that candy. I bought so many Twix bars and Kit Kats. That's not a hint.
Billy, it's very similar. When I went to Monmouth in grad school, when I served as a grad assistant. We had our own little office up on the 3rd floor of Howard, and we had a candy drawer, and I used to fill it. And then I forgot about it, and then I left. And rumor has it that the candy's still there. That there's just a candy hoard on the 3rd floor of Howard Hall. So
I mean, care to send the room number this way?
We don't have a room number. It's the saddest thing. Where we were so poor, we had to hike uphill to school for 5 miles.
You have to hike uphill in the snow both ways.
It's this tiny room, the grad office. It's in the 3rd floor of Howard Hall, and it's this tiny room around the corner from the men's room, and it's between 2 like legit classrooms, and it literally is a broom closet that they just kind of put a desk in. So it doesn't actually have a room number, but it's like platform 9 3/4. You just kind of have to run at the wall and hope you don't crash.
Is that where your office was last year? Same office.
No, this my office is in the other side of Howard. They upgraded me to a bigger broom closet.
There you go.
Moving up.
Moving up in the world.
No, this was from years ago. This is when I was a grad assistant.
Gotcha. Wow. So you know what? So long as you're upgrading to that new broom closet, that's all that matters. I was gonna ask if it was the same office, because the story of that other office is that you met Steve for the first time, not in class, but when Steve was looking for a new history class, and I told him, "Oh, join mine," and then I introduced you to him before the next class the same day. Because Steve was just looking for a class, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in war and history right now. It's pretty good, so come join me. We'll do that. We'll do the project together, and then the rest is history." But
history.
Steve,
I see that. I see what you did.
You're the worst. So, last Halloween question: which first lady became the first to decorate the White House for Halloween? Ooh, Steve is already writing. Both of you are already writing. That's a lot of confidence on this one. I thought this one was gonna be a.
I feel like it could only be one, but I'm not really sure.
If you're that confident, Steven, I'm not sure if you have it right.
I don't think you know what? Now I'm second guessing.
No. You gotta keep it down. Keep it down. I want to. It makes it better if I see what the answer is right now. So this is it for all the marbles for the Miami Heat to go win an NBA Finals. It's right here. The answers, the last answers of the night. So the first question. These 2 countries are accredited with having popularized Halloween costumes for trick-or-treating. Professor Black, would you like to start?
I took a little stab in the dark here. I said England and Germany.
Good guess. That's a nice guess. Both in Europe. He's keeping it in that bubble there. It's less of an aggregate than that 500 to 550 years. So I like the range we're going with now. We're betting on ourselves. Steve, countries. What'd you put for the first one?
I also put Germany. I put Germany, and then I put Sweden.
Ooh, Sweden. You know what, Sweden?
Right.
Sweden's actually a really good. I probably would have guessed Sweden if I was in your shoes. I think just because I don't know why. I just have a feeling that I would have guessed Sweden. So we're gonna click on it. The answer is unfortunately none of those. We had Scotland and Ireland. Scotland and Ireland are attributed.
Oh, I was gonna put that. Wait, no way. I was actually gonna put that, and I was like, no, because I was like, they're countries, right? But they're still part of the UK, so I was like, no, it can't be it.
No, it's
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's what you get.
You gotta play hardball
That's what you get for the
sometimes.
that's what you get for the second guessing yourself.
You gotta play hardball. Ooh, Sean is already 0 of 1, but you know what, Sean? You're gonna come back. I already got faith in you. All right, you're shooting 4 or 5 rest of the series. I love it. All right, where was the first citywide celebration of Halloween in the United States? Steve, lead us off.
I put Boston. Because
Boston
originally I thought it was Ireland. So I'm like, oh, okay.
in the
that makes
United
sense.
States.
Yeah. I mean, no, there's a lot of Irish people in Boston, isn't there? I mean, they have a whole basketball
Oh, okay,
team.
I understand your rationale here. I was confused at first. I thought you were thinking Ireland, and I was like,
No.
Steve, the question is entirely based on the fact that it would have taken place in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
So I do like Ireland a little bit better as a guess because that makes me laugh harder. But I think Boston
No,
is a good
it's
choice.
Boston.
Boston is an epicenter for things like that. Professor Black, what are we thinking for this question? What is the first city to celebrate Halloween?
I have Chicago.
Chicago, another good guess, another epicenter city. I love both guesses, but only one of you can be right. Or neither.
Or neither.
Unfortunately, the answer was Anoka, Minnesota. Anoka,
What?
Minnesota was the first to do it, and I
Wait, what
believe
was
they
it?
did it in... This is the one that did in 1921.
Okay.
Whoa.
Anoka, Minnesota. Anoka, Minnesota is just really fun to say. Like, Anoka, Minnesota is the perfect place to do it because just saying Anoka, Minnesota over and over again is really good. Sean, you didn't have to say you guessed Detroit. I appreciate the honesty, but you could have lied. I would have totally believed you if you said Anoka.
Yeah, Sean, you could be undefeated right now.
Yeah.
You're being way too honest.
They have an obligation to be honest because they're on camera. I could tell if they're lying, but I can't tell. You should be lying. You're 15 of 15. I'm sure Josh Miller's also in the chat somewhere. I'm sure he's also shooting completely straight right now. So, before pumpkins, what foods were originally used to make jack-o'-lanterns? So, we will lead off with Professor Black if you want to give your 3 or whatever, however many you wrote down.
Oh yeah. I got your 3 right here. Ready?
Oh, he's got all 3. He knows it.
I have squash, apples, and potatoes.
All good guesses, all in the same wheelhouse. You're going right with that Turkey Day. What's that thing called? The Oh God, I'm completely blanking. The thing they put at the center of the table that's filled with all the fruits.
Oh, that's a trivia. That's your trivia.
That's a trivia question for next time when we do this in the Thanksgiving season. Cornucopia. Yes, you're right. Cornucopia. Don't remember that, audience. We'll do that again later. We'll do cornucopia later. We're recycling bits. We're already has-beens. So, Steve, your answer. Professor Black said potatoes, apples, and squash.
So I put
Yes.
potatoes. I put potatoes, squash, and turnips.
Potatoes, squash, and turnips.
So we're kind of
So
close.
so we're sitting in the same wheelhouse here. We got a
Yeah.
chance for Professor Black to either ice the game or for Steve to pull back in. Can we do this? Is this going to be the turning point of this contest? It just might. Potatoes, turnips, and beets. So you each got potatoes, but Steve did get turnips.
Do I get 2 points?
Wow,
You get 2
all right,
points
good
for that.
job.
Look at that.
All right.
So I did actually forget to specify this. So we're actually throwing in a little hook into the service real quick here. When I said what were the first ever fun-sized candy bars, I did not realize that there are actually 2 answers. So feel free to take a couple seconds and write down one more. And when you guys are ready, let me know, and I will throw it to you guys giving your answers.
Interesting fact.
I might put squash, apples, and. No, I'm sorry, Steven. Go ahead. I was just gonna say I might put squash, apples, and potatoes for
Oh,
this
no,
one
you're-
too, just
no, you're-
to be
yeah,
safe.
no.
Just to be safe.
No, for the last question, I was gonna put watermelons. But I was
Watermelons
that
is
doesn't
a-
make any- that doesn't make
Watermelon.
any sense.
So like from like a shape perspective and a size
Carve it.
perspective, you could totally carve
No,
it.
yeah, but
But,
I
like,
feel like
I feel like that's not something that looks
yeah,
like
I
a
feel
jack-o'-lantern. I
like-
guess it's too colorful.
Like
In like a
Ireland, I
yeah.
guess they didn't have access. How many watermelons did they have?
yeah. They probably weren't walking around with watermelons everywhere they went.
Watermelons.
Sean, you could get a point for cornucopia just because you're being such a good sport right now. You're playing so well in the chat. So you know what, Sean? 2 points for cornucopia. You're a good kid. So let's throw to those answers. What were the first fun-sized candy bars? You guys got to give me 2. Steve, lead off.
I put Snickers and Hershey bars.
Good guesses. Snickers and Hershey bars, both classic Halloween candies, classic chocolates. Professor Black.
I went Snickers as well, but I went Kit Kats with my second one.
Okay. This could be a chance for a complete shift of the dynamic here. We have another chance for someone to take a 1-point advantage. And we have Snickers and Milky Way. So neither of you hit on the second one, but you both got a point. So you both move up 1. So you both move up 1 in that department right there. So we have one more question. I don't know if Steve's even in the range anymore, but we'll do it for fun. We're gonna do this question just to see how well Steve does. Maybe we got someone in the chat who's neck and neck with Professor Black right now. Who knows?
This is a 10-point question.
Sean got Milky Way.
Wait, Billy. This brings up a story.
Everybody
Billy, remember we did Jeopardy in class, right?
Yeah.
And in Professor Black's class. And we did Final Jeopardy or whatever, or Double Jeopardy, and we bet everything, and then we won.
Yes.
Or we won, because we were in dead last.
But we
came back.
But we bet everything because there was just a couple kids in our class who were just on the ball that day. They were going.
No, I remember.
So
I got
good.
It right. I don't remember the question. It was something about Mongol. It was the Mongol arrows.
Oh, that's right. Like the ballpoint arrows or something like that. I don't.
The Bodkin point arrows.
The Bodkin point.
arrows.
There we go.
Oh,
Bodkin point arrows. The Bodkin point arrows. Can Steve pull out another miracle win here against the king himself? Another career highlight here for Steve. As all things are coming to an end, we have to answer one last question. Which first lady became the first to decorate the White House for Halloween? Steve, you are at disadvantage here, but there is nothing I believe more than for your ability to come back. What is your answer to the first lady? Because you were awful confident of it when you wrote it down.
Jackie Kennedy. I feel like
Jackie Kennedy.
That's the most logical one.
Jackie Kennedy is a great answer. It's a great guess. Natalie Portman played her in a movie, so you can't go wrong with that. Professor Black, to secure the victory, what is your answer?
Steve, I went one president before you. I went Mamie Eisenhower in the 50s.
Ooh.
He's bold. These are some classic tactics here in game shows. He's playing one president off. Could he just barely edge him out here? So, drum roll, please. I didn't queue up a drum roll sound effect, so I'm just gonna have to fake it. I'm not gonna hit my desk because my keyboard. There you go. There we go.
That was a pathetic drum roll. But...
Here we go. And the winner, Mamie Eisenhower.
Oh.
Mamie Eisenhower in 1958 became the first president to decorate the White House. Yes, Sean, Padme. No, Padme did not actually decorate the White House. Jackie Kennedy did not do it.
Padme was the first one to decorate the White House.
No, Padme must have been the second because clearly Mamie Eisenhower took the cake here with the 1958 decoration of the White House. It's actually a really nice decoration. I don't have a picture here for it, but it was a really good layout she had going there. She was. Oh, Sean, did you get that one right? Because it looks like you got a lot of confidence there, or you're just practicing your commentator voice. Either way, it's the end of our game, so we now have to tally up our final scores to determine our final winner. There is only one who's going to come out victorious, only one who will be the first ever HAWKTV trivia champion. And there's only one way to find out. Professor Black, you were in the lead going into the final round. How many points do you have?
I have 11 points, Billy.
You have 11 points. Steve Pompei, you were the underdog. You had Ben's hopes and dreams riding on your shoulders and the history of the entire Miami Heat legacy. Jimmy Butler is relying on you to get this right.
Ben, I had 7 points, so maybe that's a good omen for the Heat.
However, 7 points because they're going to take the Lakers in 7 games. Yes. There you go. That is something. However, it's not what we wanted for the Heat because you did not.
Just if I put Irish in Scotland, I would have had 9 points. So
You would have had 9 points. You
I
you
still would've
you were
won.
just a
I
couple of
would've
those
won.
big home run questions away from securing the victory, but unfortunately you could not pull it through. Down goes Pompei is right, Sean. A Titan falls today, and another rises from the ashes of his defeat. Professor Black, congratulations, you're the first HAWKTV trivia champion. Chat, feel free to let us know how you did in the chat right now while I do this little breakdown. Sean, thank you so much for being such an active participant today. It's like you were a little extra guest here. It was great having you, and it was great having everyone in chat who was coming and hanging out. So,
Always catching that fat L.
so if you guys
I'm
like
gonna-
this,
I'm gonna
let
get
me
the L tattooed on my forehead.
if you guys, you're gonna have to bring Dr. Phil in here to hand you the L personally.
Wait, before we go, can I ask Professor Black a question?
Yes, feel free.
Okay, who would win in a fight? Greek gods or Norse gods?
Oh, that's a bad question for someone who specializes in Norse.
I'm a little. Ooh. The Norse gods would wipe the floor with the Greek gods. Wouldn't even be
There we go.
close.
There we go.
There you go, confidence.
Gotta
That
represent.
that should be a good preview for the Norse mythology class.
Little bias.
And
Little
just a little. I'm just gonna throw in my 2 cents here. If you can make it happen, that should be a class debate for the mythology class.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people who have a lot of stake in those Greek gods. Love them a lot. There's a lot of love lost for them. And then there's a lot of not a lot of people who know.
I'll give you my hot take right here. All right.
Okay.
Zeus is too busy sleeping around.
There you go.
True.
Poseidon's too busy with the ocean. Hades is dealing with Hades.
Stuff.
Norse gods would wipe the floor.
And wipe.
No doubt,
There you
no
go.
doubt.
They're all warriors at heart. I think it's a good debate, though. I think that a lot of people would find ways to argue you, and they would do their deep research into that. But I think it would be a lot of fun. And let me know when you want to do that, so we could televise the entire thing.
Well, that's a great idea, Billy. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on. This was
Thank you for
such a
coming on.
blast, and,
So-
Thank you.
No, yeah. Thank you so much.
you did a tremendous job.
Thank you. I like to think so. But
Billy, you did all right because I lost. So.
all right, that's fair. That's honestly really fair. But before we go, real quick, congratulations, Professor Black. You are the first champion here. We'll see if anyone could take that role, get another round as good as yours. You have to get 11 points. So I'll keep that in mind. 11 points is currently the record for the most points scored on trivia on camera as of right now. We'll see if that can change in the future. But something I like to do on all of my shows before we sign out is just give everyone a little opportunity to plug anything that is important to them, anything they would like to make clear to either students involved, or like if they want to share an Instagram or something that they like watching, or they just want to, share about their classes or something like that. Feel free to take this space. We're going to start with you, Steve.
Yeah. America's Hottest Debates Live is the hottest show on television. We're currently doing a podcast format because we're online. So to all my HAWKTV fans out there, if you'd like to be on the podcast, maybe we have it's a very casual show. We just talk literally about anything. We do some little debates at the end. It's a good time. You can get in contact with me, and I'm just gonna shout out HAWKTV as a whole. Join our HAWKTV Discord if you haven't. It's a good time. You can join. You can become the next trivia expert. You can beat Professor Black and score 12 points or 11.5 points.
If I'm feeling nice that day, you might get that 11.5.
I'm gonna call out Goat Talk too because Sean is typing it. Goat Talk Thursday 8 to 10 HAWKTV live on YouTube. Go watch it.
There you go. If you want to follow Go Talk on Instagram, it's at g.o.a.t._talk. It's a wonderful, wonderful show. I've been on that a couple of times, both when it was live on the radio and now live on HAWKTV. It's a wonderful show run by a wonderful person with, there it is, his shameless self-plug. Professor Black, feel free to plug anything you'd like.
Excellent. I was not whatsoever prepared for this question, but I like to plug 2 quick things. One, one of my brothers does a podcast called Essential with Eric Black and Brian Morris on YouTube. They're also on Instagram, Essential Pod. They do everything from sports to politics. It's a phenomenal show. Both of them majored in either journalism or communications or all of that fun stuff. They do a tremendous podcast. They put a lot of work and time and effort into it. So definitely check it out if you can. And secondly, just want to shout out, hopefully all my students in the department or friends and family watching. Thank you for, I tried to plug this show so much because I know Billy and Steve, how much you guys put into this. I really wanted to try and get you guys some views. So shout out to everybody who came in to watch. I really appreciate you guys coming in and supporting this wonderful program. Because again, guys, phenomenal job. This was a lot of fun. And
Thank you.
You should be really proud.
Thank you. I think it could be a lot of fun for a long time. It's something I have a lot of ownership over, and I thought it was a really good time. But yeah, check out that podcast. Actually, if you want, you could send me the link to that. And if you're in the HAWKTV email list, I'll make sure that you get the link to that podcast so that you guys can check that out individually, and you could share that with your friends. One thing I want to ask from you guys is if you're already subscribed, liking and commenting helps us, but you know what helps us more? Sharing with a friend, letting someone know that you like the stuff that we're making, that we're putting out good stuff, and leaving some feedback so we can grow. We're all students, so we're all learning how to do this right. So if you leave comments, then we know how to approach doing it in a really effective way that looks good and works good and acts good, so that we can grow as production people and we can keep doing cool stuff like this for much larger audiences. But yes, definitely send me the link to that podcast. I will take care of that part. For me, I do want to plug a couple things real quick. At HAWKTV12 on Instagram. Check out our website, www.hawktv12.com. It's new and updated, so it has all of my contact information and my board's contact information if you have any questions for us about how we're doing things. Check out HAWKTV MU on YouTube if you're already here. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to us. Check out the kind of stuff we make. We make a bunch of different shows in variety. And then check out my personal show at Triple Scoop, or at 3 Scoop TV, the Triple Scoop on YouTube. We talk about movies, music, and TV there, and we have a wonderful time doing it. If you want to get involved, just reach out to me with the contact information in the website. Do a lot of awesome stuff here. If you guys are really into the stuff we're doing, then check it out. And if not, share it with your friend. Maybe they'll like it. That's the best way you can make any sort of content creator's dream, is by sharing the stuff that they make with one of your friends, because it just makes it go out wider. More people like it. More people get to see it. And that's what it's all about. Sharing the laughs with everybody. I'd say we had a lot of good fun, good laughs today, and hopefully we'll do this again soon in the future. If you guys really like this, again, let us know, and we're gonna work on doing another episode with that, with some alumni, some other students. Yeah, hope you guys had a wonderful time doing this. Everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask on campus, and have a great weekend, have a great week, and I'll see y'all soon.